How do you think about your competitive moat?
Well, first of all, I think there are several things that are very different about us. The first thing is to remember that AI is not about a chip. AI is about an infrastructure. Today's computing is not build a chip and people come buy your chips, put it into a computer. That's really kind of 1990s. The way that computers are built today, if you look at our new Blackwell system, we designed 7 different types of chips to create the system. Blackwell is one of them. So the amazing thing is when you want to build this AI computer, people say words like supercluster, infrastructure, supercomputer, for good reasons. Because it's not a chip, it's not a computer per se. And so we're building entire data centers. By building the entire data center, if you just ever look at one of these superclusters, imagine the software that has to go into it to run it. All the software that's inside that computer is completely bespoke. Somebody has to go write that. So the person who designs the chip and the company that designs that supercomputer, that supercluster, and all the software that goes into it, it makes sense that it's the same company because it'll be more optimized, it'll be more performant, more energy efficient, more cost effective. And so that's the first thing. The second thing is AI is about algorithms, and we're really, really good at understanding what is the algorithm, what's the implication to the computing stack underneath, and how do I distribute this computation across millions of processors, run it for days on end, with the computer being as resilient as possible, achieving great energy efficiency, getting the job done as fast as possible, so on and so forth. And so we're really, really good at that. And then lastly, in the end, AI is computing. AI is software running on computers. And we know that the most important thing for computers is install base, having the same architecture across every cloud, across on-prem to cloud, and having the same architecture available, whether you're building it in the cloud in your own supercomputer or trying to run it in your car or some robot or some PC, that having that same identical architecture that runs all the same software is a big deal.
Yeah.
It's called install base. And so the discipline that we've had for the last 30 years has really led to today, and is the reason why the most obvious architecture to use if you were to start a company is to use NVIDIA's architecture, because we're in every cloud, we're anywhere you like to buy it, and whatever computer you pick up, so long as it says NVIDIA inside.
The tech industry is buzzing about a new wave that isn't just about software. With tech valuations skyrocketing and rumors of overheating in the NASDAQ 100, Nvidia Corporation and Broadcom Incorporated are spearheading the next tech revolution by creating the future on silicon. Howard Chan, the visionary behind Curve Investment Management, is leading this transformation and has exclusively shared insights on how these chip makers are ideally positioned at the forefront of the expanding hardware sector. As the titans of the industry, Nvidia and Broadcom are guiding a future shaped by artificial intelligence and strong industrial demands. Could these firms be ushering in a golden age of silicon mastery? Let us take a closer look. So, what implications does this have for Nvidia's stock? Let's explore that. But first, a big thank you to those of you who stuck with us this far. Creating these videos takes significant effort and dedication. So if you're enjoying the content, please hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share your thoughts on Nvidia stock in the comments. Your support truly helps us grow. Now let's get back to the video.
Are super focused on the data center market, and it would be interesting to kind of get your perspective, the company's perspective on the medium and long-term, opportunity set. Obviously your industry is enabling, your term, the next industrial revolution. What are the challenges the industry faces? Talk a little bit about how you view, the data center market as we sit here today.
These giant data centers are super inefficient because it's filled with air, and air is a lousy conductor of electricity. And so what we want to do is take that few, call it 50, 100, 200 megawatt data center, which is sprawling, and you densify it into a really, really small data center. And so if you look at one of our server racks, NVIDIA server racks look expensive, and it could be a couple of $1 million per rack, but it replaces thousands of nodes. The amazing thing is just the cables of connecting old general purpose computing systems cost more than replacing all of those and densifying in.
It's evident that hardware, not only software, is quickly gaining traction as investors and market aficionados try to understand the magic behind the digital giants. According to Howard Chan, chip makers such as Nvidia and Broadcom are not only involved in the AI boom, but are also at the core of it. Forget about constant software updates. It's all about the chips after all. AI algorithms are only magnificent lines of code that are left unexecuted. According to Chan's analysis, there is a dynamic increase in demand for these chips. Giants gain from current and prospective budgetary investments, particularly in areas like cloud computing and artificial intelligence infrastructure. To stay informed about the latest developments from Nvidia and the ever-changing stock market, consider subscribing to our investing tutorial channel. We provide daily updates on significant market shifts and key catalysts. So hit that subscribe button to ensure you never miss crucial information. We'd love to hear your thoughts on Nvidia stock, so please share your opinions in the comments below. Now let's dive into today's video.
The pace of innovation, our basic methodology is to take, because remember, we're building an infrastructure, there's seven different chips. Each chip's rhythm is probably at best 2 years. At best 2 years. We could give it a midlife kicker every year, but architecturally, if you're coming up with a new architecture every 2 years, you're running at the speed of light. Okay, you're running insanely fast. Now we have 7 different chips, and they all contribute to the performance. And so we could innovate and bring a new AI cluster, a supercluster, to the market every single year that's better than the last generation. Because we have so many different pieces to work around. And so when Blackwell is 3 times the performance, for somebody who has a given amount of power, say 1 gigawatt, that's 3 times more revenues. That performance translates to throughput. That throughput translates to revenues. And so for somebody who has a gigawatt of power to use, you get 3 times.
The NASDAQ 100's earnings per share are expected to expand by 21%, which is a significant increase from the 15% growth last year. The real question is whether growth can keep up with the company's explosive ascent over the past 20 years. The second quarter is marked as crucial, marking potential EPS growth bottoms before bouncing back strong. Nvidia and Broadcom are key players weaving intricate layers of silicon gold in response to soaring demands, as Chan explains. The industry's ability to supply this golden edge places them perfectly not only within the tech sphere, but also in the face of rising interest rates that these tech titans face with balance sheets as strong as theirs. But depicts a wider impact across other industries. AI's implications are no longer limited to technology. Nvidia and Broadcom are the forerunners navigating this uncharted territory. Ripple into biotech construction and beyond as productivity increases both directly and indirectly throughout service industries. Non-tech arenas will soon find themselves utilizing AI's game-changing capabilities. Don't forget to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Your input helps create a more knowledgeable community where we can all learn and grow together in the world of investing. Stay up to date with the latest market trends, insights, and key updates by subscribing to Investing Tutorial. We're here to help you make smarter investment decisions and stay ahead of the curve.
And as you know, is really, really sprawling and interconnected. People think that when we say GPUs, because a long time ago, when I announced a new chip, a new generation of chips, I would hold up the chip. And so that was a new GPU. NVIDIA's new GPUs are 35,000 parts, weighs 80 pounds, consumes 10,000 amps. When you rack it up, it weighs 3,000 pounds. And so these GPUs are so complex, it's built like an electric car, components like an electric car. And so the ecosystem is really diverse and really interconnected in Asia. We try to design diversity and redundancy into every aspect wherever we can. And then the last part of it is to have enough intellectual property in our company in the event that we have to shift from one fab to another, we have
As we stand on the brink of this silicon-driven revolution, the tech and stock landscape is dynamic, with Nvidia and Broadcom strategically positioned at the intersection of these changes, poised for monumental impacts. Investing in these chip makers means investing in the innovation engines that will shape tomorrow's technology. For you, the astute investor, the message is clear. The silicon surge is not a passing trend, but rather a significant movement towards tech's very infrastructure. Current valuations reflect optimism, with growth forecasts shining bright for both Nvidia and Broadcom, laying the groundwork for exponential advances. Their track records in EPS and the demonstrated capacity to command supply chains put them at a vantage position in the fiercely competitive tech domain. What are your opinions on this fascinating shift headed by Nvidia and Broadcom? Will you ride this silicon wave as the tech titans strengthen their claim? Your investing decisions and thoughts may line with a future defined by AI architecture. Finally, if you want to know what firms like Nvidia have been up to these past few days, click on the next video on your screen. The world is watching, and the floor is yours. See you there.